the pieces today. Information overload. But no, take one piece, implement it. Pick the easiest piece if that's what you need. Implement it.
Love
and the
that.
last piece of Dennis Yu, literally pulling up the screen share and real time searching, real time looking. That kind of service, top notch, stellar. That was amazing.
All right. So if you were to go to Google and you look me up, you will find this, which is called the knowledge panel. You see all the colored boxes for each and everyone here? And this upside down L, where there's a bio, here's my socials. People also look for these other people in the world of digital marketing, right? Here's these posts. Here's other things about me. People are also asking questions like Content Factory, the Dollar Day Strategy, Blitz Metrics is one of my companies. Did you see this here, right? All of these results here are me, even though there's a lot of people that have the same name, you know, the 2-letter Chinese last name is like Smith, right? So it's categorized me here based on this ID. So this ID is, you see this here where it's
correct
ZM93 whatnot. That is kind of my social security number with Google. And what Google's trying to do is say, all this information about this Dennis Yu. There's a lot of Dennis Yus, but there's a professor at Clarkson University. There's a Hong Kong film director. There's a guy who runs marketing at some Silicon Valley company. But all these things, like I dominate for Dennis Yu. And the reason why, which is going to be valuable for all of you guys, is I have associated all of the facts about me, where I've spoken, who my friends are, whatever it is, Teresa Rose, right? So if I search for my name, right now I'm using Google's knowledge graphics. So Google has this tool where you, if you're a programmer, you can, in the knowledge graph explorer, you can look it up. So Paris's got pretty big on social. I mean, you're at what, 34,000. You're a big deal. 32,000, right? Best-selling author, speaker. That's true. I'm a nobody, but this looks pretty good, right? But then the question is that reflecting? And you got a link tree which connects all these pieces together, right? It's pretty impressive stuff here, right? Obviously, LA Tribune, and what we're trying to do is tell Google all these things about you. Can we connect them together into the, so there, did you know there's 14 Teresa Roses?
I did not know that. I know that now. Okay.
But imagine, so
yeah,
I'm a former search engine engineer. I built the analytics at Yahoo almost a quarter century ago. I'm older than I look. Okay. I retired 20 years ago. And if you have like a little bit of empathy for me, we had to take all this information on the internet, of which 99.9% is spam, believe it or not, and somehow tie it together and say all these things that are associated with this Parisa Rose on this ID is different than this Parisa Rose and is different from this Parisa Rose, right? So the number one Parisa Rose, drum roll, is this one, which I think is you, right? So you, no?
Yeah.
Or some of them, is this one you too?
Yeah. No, that one's not me. No.
Okay. So
most
Google's
of them
a little bit confused. Most of them are, but Google's a little bit confused on which Parisa Rose is which Parisa Rose, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is true for all of us here.
Yeah.
So how do we, instead of like trying to trick a search engine or trying to like get more fake followers or get more PR or have a best-selling book, those are all great things, right?
Yeah.
But how do we structure our information so that Google understands that who we are, so then we get this, right? And a lot of people think you have to be famous to get, like, you see like all these things here and I dominate the whole thing here, right?
Okay.
How do we go from this to this? That's what I want everyone to understand today. Is that valuable?
Beautiful. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
This is a search engine engineer's view of the world. So you'll just kind of have to forgive me if I go a little technical, okay? Because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of how Google's looking at your stuff, trying to like understand who you are. And so it's like, you know, if your name's John.
One moment. I'd like everyone that's listening, allow themselves to, instead of it being me, put yourself in wherever he's looking up. If it's me he's using as the example, allow yourself to sit in the position to connect these own dots for yourself. And
I built a tool. Yeah, here, let me post the link into the comments. So I want each of you guys to, comment has failed. Why has that failed? Well, you could just Google, let me try it again. You could just Google Blitz Metrics Knowledge Graph Explorer, and this will pull up. You don't have to log in or anything like that. Just come here and type your name in, right? And hit search. And you might be surprised because this is pulling from what Google knows from sort of a technical view as opposed to just typing in Parisa Rose, right? Because we can come here and type in Parisa Rose. Oops, I misspelled it. Oh, it even corrected it for Parisa Rose. See that?
Right.
So most of these are you, right?
All but one. All but two.
Okay, so
All
that's
but
pretty.
two.
Okay, so that's pretty good. And most of these are you.
Yeah.
All but one or two. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no.
Yeah, just all but
So
one or two.
okay, so this is good. So I think I give you, if it's all but two, that's about like an 85%, right? That's pretty good. That's excellent, really. So what we want to do is try to get it to where Google's confidence level. See this confidence score? We're trying to make it so Google's like, yep, I for sure, not like 85% sure. Like if Google's not sure, they're not going to show you a full knowledge panel. And that's what we want to do, is show a full knowledge panel, right?
Right.
So this ID, here's all the objects. I know this is geeky, just like forgive me.
No, you're
Okay?
good.
So
You're going simple with it. It's good.
Okay. So for all the things associated with this particular object, Parisa Rose, that's what we're looking at here. So what you want to do, Parisa, and everyone else watching and listening, you see the three dots here? Click on this, and then do you see where it says claim this knowledge panel? Right? So watch what happens. When I click claim, this is like the red pill matrixy moment for people. You see the blue button where it says get verified.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What do you think happens? And why do you think Google, in saying, hey, come claim your knowledge panel to say that you actually are Parisa Rose and you want to claim that this is, say that this is yours, why would Google want you to verify who you are? And how is this different, do you think, than being Instagram verified or Facebook verified or, whatever, TikTok verified? How is that different?
Well, my assumption would be that it would help improve that confidence score that was listed in the screen before.
Right. And so it improves your confidence score because what happens is when you click on this, it then allows you it's going to give you a choice on, are you actually Parisa Rose, or are you an agency, or your handler or manager like celebrities will often have their manager come in and do it for them. And then it'll ask you to submit your like government ID and the login from your a screenshot showing that you're logged in to each. So like obviously only someone who's logged into your website, logged into your Instagram, logged into your Facebook, and you can submit 5 of these things to show that, yep, this actually is Parisa Rose. So some spammer couldn't just come in and claim Parisa Rose and start defacing, basically, right?
Right.
So once you've claimed
anything
it,
on this screen?
I think it's loading slow.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. All right, yeah. So anyway, so the best, you can do it either way, but we'll say like, yes, and then I'll say like, yes, I am Parisa Rose. And then it goes through this whole form where it asks you to submit all this stuff, right? And this only takes 5 minutes. But most people who submit at this stage, if they're even aware, like I'm curious, like of you guys here, how many of you guys, like yes or no, are you aware that you can get verified on Google? Most people, I've asked this question so many times, most people have never heard of this before.
Right.
Everyone, like, let me know in the comments.
Put this in the chat if you know about this or not. This is really important. This is awesome. Go ahead.
This is not Instagram verified or Twitter verified. Like if you look at my Twitter and my Facebook and whatever, I have blue checks on everything, okay? And I had them before you could pay, right? This blue check I have on Facebook was from like 17 years ago. I got my blue check on Facebook, okay? So this is not the paid for blue check. This is a real blue check. So a lot of people think because of all the networks have been charging so you can be verified. How much do you have to pay to go through Google's verification process to be verified on Google? How much do you think it is?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yes.
I want to say no cost involved.
Yeah, it's free.
It's proof. It's a proof of that it's you, and it's only helping collect the data anyway, which would be beneficial for Google in the end, right?
Yeah. So if you follow the process to claim your knowledge panel, and I wrote this whole article on how to do it because people have tried to do it, and I've helped so many of my friends do this. They made all the mistakes. Okay. Oops, not this URL. So type in a search for knowledge panel Dennis Yu, and you'll get this whole article. It goes step by step on how to claim it and what the mistakes are, and what if someone has the same name, and what if you're, just like all the stuff is here. Okay, you can go read it later if you want. But the whole point is if you claim if you're able to claim your entity, that you are Parisa Rose, or the name of your business, or the LA Tribune, or like whatever the thing, like Google's trying to associate all the facts and attributes associated with a thing. A thing could be a place, it could be a song, like any like object, you know what I mean? Like this whole, it's like this whole database of things, okay? And it's trying to associate information about these things. And you can see it's like mostly right because it's like sort of is able to, it does a pretty good job for you. But most people, it's kind of all over the place, right? If you verify who you are, that you are Parisa Rose and this particular object ID that we found for you, here, watch this. So when I click on this to go to this Parisa Rose, notice how this view is different when I come in and click search Parisa Rose here, right?
Yeah.
The difference is this is showing the ID. You see here in the URL, it says the ID is 11S86. That's your social security number, Parisa, with Google, right? The only way to get to this is using Google's tool to find out what it is. So then if I come here, claim this knowledge panel, I go through the whole process. Once I claim it and follow the steps that I mentioned in that article so you don't get rejected, because most people get rejected because they don't realize you have to like word, like when they come here and ask you like, why do you, where is it here? Why do you want to, why are you claiming this knowledge panel, right? What do most people say? Oh, well, I'm Parisa Rose and I'm, I run the LA Tribune and I'm in Seattle and I'm a best-selling author and I'm on this top 10 women thing. And I should, you should verify. Rejected.
Right. What do they want to hear?
What they want to hear is that they're looking for elements of notability, like if you were to try to get your Wikipedia or things that are factually true about you. Okay. So if you say like, I am the best at this, well, that's not something factually true.
Right.
Think about what's in a knowledge. If you think what's in a knowledge panel, like, look, so many people mess this stage up. It just drives me nuts. So let me just try to like say it in the clearest way without like venting it because I get frustrated when people don't do this right. So here, it's factually true that I'm an author, right? It's factually true that I'm 50 years old and I turned, October 6th, I turned 50. It's factually true. I published this best-selling book, which you can see on Amazon. It actually made it to bestseller in social media. These are all factually true, right? People are also asking, who's the CEO of Blitz Metrics? It's factually true that that is me, right? It's factually true that I've been on these other people's podcasts. It's true that I've spent lots of money on ads. It's true that I'm on these social networks. It's true that I've spoken at these conferences. It's true that I've been on these other people's podcasts, right? These are all factually true. These are all facts that be associated with me, right? You see how they're like trying to tie facts to me.
Right.
So when you come in and apply, the machine, you understand, as long as you understand what the machine wants, you say, hey, I'm associated with this. I'm a founder of that. I wrote this book. I've been on this podcast. Factually true, right? Not like I'm the best or I'm really good at this. Like that's not a fact. That's an opinion. Then you also say, and because of that, there's other people that have the same name that confuses my audience. And there's other people that may also try to leverage my goodwill because I have 32,000 followers on Instagram. And, there's a lot of fake people trying to create fake profiles. And it's important for my business that it's properly represented. And therefore, I need to be able to manage my knowledge panel so that the things that show up for me are the actual things that are Parisa Rose.
Right.
Right. And so now you've given the machine, we're trying to give the machine what it wants. You see what I'm saying?
No, I am so grateful you showed up with the intention to share this because as we wrap here in the next 2 minutes before our next guest comes on, I think it's really, really helpful to talk about things, to understand what the tools can be. But it's another thing to show very practical, tangible steps and showing just how simple it can be. And yes, you have the article to help provide people more of like the step-by-step process to dive into that. Yeah. And I know that like that is the quintessential key piece of this whole marketing conversation. That was so helpful. And
thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Welcome, Michael.
Hey,
I know when I saw that, I'm watching Dennis, I'm going, whoa, slow down. Hold, right. I'm ready to jump it. Just, not putting you on the spot or anything, but we have a big kickoff show called Quantum Leap 2025, and it's going to be the second week of January. It's really our anchor of the whole year. I would love we'll check your schedule. If you could spend, I'll put you on for about 45 minutes and just walk through this great knowledge, teach our worldwide audience, show them what to do, connect with you. And if you have time, I mean, the comments have been
I would love to, Michael.
Okay.
Count me in. You said January 22nd?
It's December. No, sorry. January. It's January like 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'll get the exact
9th,
dates.
10th, and 11th. Those dates are open, but as of now, so let me know. Yeah, let me know. I'd love to.
Can you? Yeah, I'll you message me, and I'll get you in right away. We're going to start the schedule probably in a week.
Awesome.
So
fantastic.
This was fantastic.
I hope all you guys are able to be Googleable, not because you're trying to be social media famous. Like there's all these things as a marketer that you feel like, you need to like pretend to be. But I just want you to, instead of trying to trick the search engine or trick Facebook, I want you to authentically show you are, and then you're going to win. That's how you win in SEO. That's the main thing I want people to understand. It's not this magic, okay? The more content you have, the more it has to be organized, right? That's what we're trying to do, is organize your stuff.
You know what we might do too, and just a thought, because I like to do things really, we might have you maybe work with one of our top students or one of our influencers and make sure everything looks well, let you build the relationship with them, but almost do it live as it's happening, because then our audience will really focus and lock in on not just what you're doing, but who you are.
Like a live cooking show, right? I'm Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to yell at you if you don't cook the steak right, but we're going to, every step of the way, we're going to cook the food. All the recipe.
That'd be funny. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So Dennis, thank you. Prisa, you're awesome. Prisa, you want to stay on for the next one? You can if you want. So if you gotta go,
I might have to step away for a few, but
yeah, no problem. We'll see you in about 20 minutes. All right, Dennis, thank you so much.
Guys.
We're about to bring up Motoko and then Joseph McClendon, but we'll see you soon. Thank you, Dennis.
Connect with me, guys, on Google. All right.
Oh, we will.